If you're tired of feeling overwhelmed by Linux, or if you've been dipping your toes in but want to level up fast, this video's for you. Today we're diving into the 7 best tips to learn Linux faster. Whether you're a complete beginner, switching from Windows or Mac, or someone who's dabbled but hit a wall, Linux powers everything from servers to smartphones, and mastering it can supercharge your career in IT, programming, or even cybersecurity. But let's be real, the learning curve can feel steep. That's why I boiled it down to these actionable tips that help me go from newbie to confident user in just a few weeks. We'll cover everything from setup to advanced habits with real examples and no fluff. By the end of this video, you'll have a roadmap to accelerate your Linux journey. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss more tech tips. Let's jump right in. First things first, don't overwhelm yourself with choices. Linux has hundreds of distributions or distros, like Ubuntu, Fedora, or Arch. But starting with the wrong one can slow you down big time. My top tip, go with Ubuntu or Linux Mint if you're a beginner. Why? They're user-friendly, have massive communities, and come with graphical interfaces that feel familiar if you're coming from Windows. Ubuntu, for example, has the Unity or GNOME desktop environment, which makes navigation intuitive. No command line terror from day one. To get started fast, install it in a virtual machine using free tools like VirtualBox or Virt Manager. This way you can experiment without risking your main computer. Download the ISO, create a VM, and boot it up. It'll take about 20 minutes. Once inside, play around with the file manager, install apps via the Software Center, and get comfy. Pro move, dual boot if you're committed, but start virtual to avoid headaches. This tip alone can cut your frustration down by half, letting you focus on learning instead of troubleshooting installs. Okay, tip number 2, don't fear the terminal. Embrace it early and often. The command line is Linux's superpower, and avoiding it is like learning to drive without using the steering wheel. Start simple. Open the terminal, Control-Alt-T on Ubuntu, and learn basic commands like ls to list files, cd to change directories, and pwd to see your current path. Practice navigating your home folder. Type cd documents to jump in, then ls to see what's there. Why does this speed up learning? Most Linux tasks are faster in the terminal. Want to update your system? Just sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade. Done in seconds. No clicking through menus. Sudo gives admin privileges, by the way. Think of it as run as administrator. Build a habit. Every day, challenge yourself to do one graphical task via command line instead. Like creating a folder, use mkdir new folder instead of right-clicking. In a week, you'll be flying. Bonus. Install man pages for help. Type man ls to read the manual. This self-reliance will make you learn 2 times faster than relying on GUIs. Tip 3. Understand the file system hierarchy right away. Unlike Windows with C drives and folders everywhere, Linux has a unified structure starting from the root/directory. Everything branches from there. /home is your user stuff, /etc holds config files, /bin has essential binaries, and /var stores logs and variables. Why learn this fast? It prevents confusion when installing software or troubleshooting. For instance, if an app isn't working, check /etc for configs or /var/log for errors. Quick exercise. Use tree/ in the terminal, install tree first with sudo apt install tree to visualize it. Or explore the file manager. Right-click properties to see paths. This knowledge lets you think like Linux, making advanced stuff like permissions, chmod, or mounting drives intuitive. Skip this and you'll waste hours Googling where is my file. Master it early and you'll navigate like a pro. Moving on to tip 4, dive deep into package management. Linux doesn't have .exe files. Instead, use managers like apt for Debian-based distros or yum/dnf for Red Hat ones. On Ubuntu, sudo apt install Firefox grabs and sets up Firefox instantly from repositories. To search, apt search keyword. Remove with apt remove. This accelerates learning because 80% of Linux work involves installing tools. Practice by setting up a dev environment. Install git with apt install git, node.js, or even a web server like Apache. Pro tip, learn about PPAs, personal package archives. For newer software, add them with add apt repository. It keeps your system clean and updated. By week 2, you'll be managing dependencies like a boss, avoiding the bloat of manual downloads. Tip 5 is a game changer. Learn by doing real projects, not just theory. Reading tutorials is fine, but hands-on practice cements it. Start small. Set up a personal web server. Install Apache. Sudo apt install Apache 2. Edit HTML in /var/www/html and access it via browser. Boom, you've hosted a site. Next, automate backups. Write a simple bash script to copy files to an external drive. Use nano backup.sh, add lines like a shebang /bin/bash and cp-r/home/user/docs/backup, then run it. Why projects? They force problem solving. Stuck on permissions? You'll learn chmod 755 script.sh naturally. Advanced idea. Build a Raspberry Pi project if you have hardware, like a media server with Plex. Or contribute to open source on GitHub. Clone a repo, make changes, push. Aim for one project per week. Sites like Linux Journey or Free Code Camp have guided ones. This tip turns passive learning into active mastery, cutting your timeline from months to weeks. Tip 6, don't go solo. Join communities and tap free resources. Linux thrives on collaboration. Start with Reddit's r/Linux for noobs or r/Learn Linux for questions. Stack Overflow and Ask Ubuntu are gold for specific issues. Search first, then ask. For structured learning, free courses on Udemy, YouTube channels like mine, or official docs at ubuntu.com/tutorials. Pro hack. Follow Linux influencers on Twitter or YouTube, like me. Join Discord servers like Linux user groups. This social aspect speeds up troubleshooting instead of hours debugging. Get answers in minutes. Plus, it motivates you through shared wins. Finally, tip 7. Experiment wildly but safely. Linux rewards curiosity, so tinker. Use snapshots in VirtualBox or Virt Manager. Break your VM, revert, repeat. Try editing system files in /etc. Install weird packages, or even compile from source. Why? Failure teaches fastest. Accidentally delete something? Learn recovery with undelete tools or backups. Set up a lab. Multiple VMs for different distros. Test commands like rm-rf/. This builds confidence. In a month, you'll fearlessly customize your setup, from themes to kernels. There you have it, the 7 best tips to learn Linux faster. Choose the right distro, embrace the terminal, master the file system, handle packages, do projects, join communities, and experiment safely. Implement these and you'll be zipping through Linux in no time. Which tip are you trying first? Drop it in the comments below. I read them all, and if this helped, like, subscribe, and share this with a friend starting their Linux journey. Check out my playlist on Linux basics for more. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.